Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by Interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, including news the oil companies are not passing on the fall in crude prices and local petrol prices. But first, new residential construction in the US in September came in more positive than most analysts were expecting and seemed to buck the trend of nervousness in other markets. Building permits, housing starts and housing completions all rose strongly, and August data was revised up in some categories. In fact, American consumer confidence is up in its latest survey. The respected University of Michigan Index of Consumer Sentiment unexpectedly rose in early October to its highest level since July 2007. In China, the central bank there said over the weekend it plans to inject more than $40 billion into about 20 of their large banks in a concerted program to shore up their economic growth and counteract the global slowdown. In fact, China is now gearing up to import 15% more iron ore in 2015. But the miners have so much of the stuff they are budgeting for lower prices. And it was announced earlier this morning that Russia and the Ukraine have agreed a price for winter gas supplies, moving closer to a deal that would ease concerns that the country's dispute could disrupt supplies to the rest of Europe. And staying in Europe, negative interest rates are getting embedded. Several global banks have begun charging their large clients to deposit their money in euros. It's a rare move that could have interesting implications for investors who do business there. US Treasury 10-year yields ended last week higher, but only back up to 2.2%. In New Zealand this morning we start with the wholesale swap rates up, but only back to where they were last Wednesday. Banks are starting to reflect these overall lower rates and new reductions in mortgage rates. So far, term deposit rates have held their levels. The oil price is now under $83 a barrel, with Brent back at $86 a barrel. The longer these international prices stay this low, the more likely someone will ask why there hasn't been a pump price reflection locally. In fact, the cost of crude has fallen 14% since the beginning of 2014, but pump prices have actually risen 2%. Taxes have gone up 4%, but local company margins have risen 20%. And that is the MED monitoring data. It's costing you about 5 cents a litre. The gold price was unchanged over the weekend at $1,238 an ounce. We start today with our currency level just marginally lower. The New Zealand dollar is at 79.3 US cents, 90.5 Aussie cents, and the TWI is at 76.9. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by Interest.co.nz.